out. I want to have a good time with you guys tonight, but we need the fucking planets to align at this point. And I probably just age-gated the stream by saying that. Ah, don't you love that? Hello, hello, hello. Well, happy birthday. Oh, you don't need to worry about defending me. A big part of the point of this channel is to argue with idiots in chat, so... Sniff out a seafood boil? I need lobster and crawfish? Well, I don't know how to help. I'm not, I'm not in that area. Not exactly. Can I ask what your pronouns are? Yeah, she, her, hers. I really hope I didn't ruin this stream by saying fuck a minute into it. Ugh. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate when I feel like this. Oh, man. I'm just mad. Mad at the world. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Man, welcome, welcome. Hit that like button. Engage. You know what to do. Do they really have to play that fucking alarm the whole time they back up? I hate living next to a railroad so much. I would literally do anything to move somewhere else. God, I hate Mississippi. Oh my God. I hate this fucking place. You should move to Cali. I'm not convinced that Cali is any less fucked than any other state in this fucking godforsaken union. You know, I cannot help but find there to be an incredibly touching amount of irony in the fact that I have tried pretty hard over the last 2 weeks to present a pretty consistently entertaining stream to everybody. And tonight, on a night when I am like categorically depressed, when I've done mostly nothing but like sit here in judgment of you guys, now we're sitting at 127 viewers. And I've done nothing but look at you, ruefully. I've done nothing but sit here and look like Eeyore for 5 minutes, and now I've got 127 viewers. What is YouTube Shorts? Like, why? Why, when I put in effort and actually try to make an entertaining stream, do I get like 30 fucking people in here? But whenever I'm just sitting around stewing in my own misery, that's when I get the people showing up? It doesn't make a lick of sense. Anyway, what are we going to talk about tonight, y'all? Iran has started attacking ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. now knows for a fact that it hit a girls' elementary school and just doesn't care because, it was based on old information. I'm willing to argue about other things, but it feels like those are the two top things, so that's what I put in the title. But if you've got something else you want to bring to me, now's the time. You need God? Pretty sure God's not real. What exact use is an intangible, immaterial being going to be to my life? Christian incels have infiltrated the chat? No. Christian incels have taken over the online space in general. That's what you have to understand. Christian incels and like white nationalists and Christian nationalists have like really astroturfed the fuck out of the online space, and at this point it's very easy to look around online unless you're in specific communities and get the impression that the internet's just full of Nazis. I don't think the internet really is full of Nazis. I think that Nazis just happen to be a lot more willing to engage in astroturf campaigns and a lot more willing to create alt accounts. When do you feel the most yourself? When I'm performing at a rainbow gathering. Playing guitar at a rainbow gathering. I couldn't imagine a venue where I feel more myself. That rainbow flag is fascist? Bet you're not going to sit here and explain how, are you? Just got a little bit of free-floating hatred to deposit in my chat, and then you're off to the next stream, right? What's a rainbow gathering? You should look into it. Rainbow Family of Living Light. Very easy to look into. What am I hearing? Anyway. See what I mean when I say like astroturfed Nazi shit? Like, look at all the people that are willing to just spout spammy Trump shit everywhere they go. Do you think that's a real person, or do you think that that's some bot account in Bangladesh being ran by somebody who's also running 10 other accounts? I know which way of the fence I land on. Go Trump, not bot here. The fact that you responded to me makes it tempting for me to say, oh, I guess you're not a bot. Aw, Alex, did you get kicked out for being a bliss ninny? Aw, Alex, we've got to put aside Bliss Ninny in the chat. Alex, what did you do to get kicked out of Rainbow? Because them's the realest hippies left on the planet Earth. They're the literal last living refuge of the remaining hippie movement, like the original one. Yeah, the last living members of that all attend Rainbow. So you want to fucking retract that comment or care to argue with me? Flag represents forced acceptance or be erased? How? How does that flag imply that? In what way? Can you find some like source on that, or is that just some shit you pulled out of your ass? Why are you an agitator? Why are you an agitator? Doesn't it get tiresome to have the world against you always? No, actually, it doesn't. "'Tis better to be disagreed with for being right than to be agreed with for being wrong." What makes you think you're right? Dialectical materialism. A material view of history, and applying that to predictions about the future. I tend to be right, so I feel like I must have the right perspective on all this. I predicted the war on Iran was going to happen back last year. I was telling everybody this is not going to be the end. Donald Trump wants regime change in Iran, and we will see a continuation of this conflict under his regime. They are testing the defenses. They are testing the response. This will not be it. And I was right. Now, how did I predict that? I don't have some crystal ball. I don't practice Santeria. How? I just looked through history, and I looked at America's wide and varied history of this exact same tactic throughout history, and I examined the complex relationships between the polities involved, the United States and Israel and the Gulf states on one side, and Iran on the other, and its various proxies, of course. A deeper look at those complex relationships will tell you that the primary reason why we have always wanted control over the Middle East is because such a profound amount of oil comes out of that place. It's the entire reason why we are so gung-ho about Israel. Yes, there is a fundamentalist Christian leaning to it all too, but ultimately, the people who have the real power, the billionaire class, they don't want Israel because they want Jesus to come back. They want Israel because they want a fucking effective base in the Middle East that they can launch regime change wars from. If you examine these relationships, the obvious conclusion appears right before your eyes, as if by magic, but it's not. It's just a simple, logical framework that anyone can adopt. We're going to do something real quick that should make the chat a little bit more participatory. So now you actually have to like subscribe to say something in the chat, which a lot of people are going to frame as censorship, but they're going to be doing that after they've hit the subscribe button, so I don't really care. Would you ever move to Iran? No, probably not. Not a big fan of deserts. Not that Iran is all desert. There's plenty of green and plenty of mountains in Iran, but you know, like they're like dry mountains. They don't have like alpine mountains like the fucking Rockies or whatever. I need some variation in my topography that includes snow-capped mountains with fucking pines cascading down them. As far as I know, Iran lacks that. If I say some facts, will you listen? If I point out how those facts are based on bullshit, will you listen? See? This is the impasse that all human beings in America, not all of us, but this is the impasse that so many of us are in right now, right? Like, we argue with one another, and it's just a endless, long charade of you showing me your sources and me refuting them, and me showing you my sources and you saying they're Jewish science, and we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and nobody's mind has changed and no points are proven. Ultimately, a decade of being canceled if we didn't accept flag. that flag didn't come out until 2020. Like, that flag didn't come out until 2020. And I don't think there was ever a single person canceled because they said they didn't like the gay flag. There were plenty of people who were, people attempted to cancel them because they said some homophobic shit, but I don't think it's actually worked in a single instance. DaBaby said all kinds of homophobic shit, still rapping, still selling out shows. I don't know, man. I don't feel like this cancel culture shit's actually been that effective. Let me see. We got another $2 super chat. Thank you for the $4, by the way, so far. The person who donated twice. The Humble Hufflepuff. I like your name. $2. Thank you so much. I do hope you know I'm not a bot account. Well, I do now. If there was ever any doubt in my mind, you've erased it with that donation. You see Vermont today? No? Well, what's going on in Vermont? Well, what's going on in Vermont? What are you token on? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? Shout out Kiwi Farm Sweaty. Oh, so I finally made the big bucks, huh? I finally made the, what is that they say? I finally made it in show business. Thank you for the $5, Margot the Marnome. I appreciate it a ton. Make sure to donate to ensure that all questions and comments get read. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. What a sweetie. Just literally asking you guys to do the engagement that I should have been asking you to do. People weren't canceled for rejecting LGBTQ ideology. No one was canceled for having like some well thought out and nuanced perspective on the whole queer issue thing. The main reason why people were canceled during the era of social media cancellation actually had a lot more to do with like Me Too shit. It was mostly about like sexual assault type shit. But like insofar as people were canceled for being like anti-queer, it's usually because they suggested that gay people should be shot or that gay people should be killed or something. Like, it's not usually because they just said like, I don't like gay people, or I think that John Money was a fraud or whatever. Not only that, but let's just say it was true. Then what you're basically telling me is that our culture roundly and loudly rejected people who weren't willing to come over on the most basic of social issues. And in which case I would say, good job on our culture. We used to have morals. Seems like slowly that's going away. But we used to. We used to hold people to account for saying garbage on the internet that shouldn't be said. We used to hold people to account for saying reprehensible things like gay people should be killed, or that ISIS is right for what it does against the gays, even if it's wrong about everything else. Like, good on us. We used to like observe some kind of like cultural self-policing on that, but now we don't. Hi, Taylor. I don't think they are Christian or believe in God. Can we respect that, please? No, because the whole point of Christianity, as near as I can tell, is to spread it as far and wide as you possibly can. No, I'm saying if it did happen, even like you were saying it was, like, it would be an example of our culture acting morally. But I don't agree that it happened the way you're saying that it happened. Being 28 this year, I remember that era pretty well. And I don't remember a single motherfucker ever getting canceled merely because they were like, well, I'm a Christian, so I personally don't believe in same-sex marriage, but, I don't care if other people do it or whatever. Pretty much the only time I ever remember somebody getting canceled for something bad they said about gay people was when they said some horribly oppressive shit, like, my fucking personal religious belief means that you shouldn't be able to get married, or my fucking personal religious belief means that I have a right to say gay people need to get destroyed or burned in hell for all eternity, or whatever the fuck. I'm sorry, I've got no problem with our society roundly rejecting you because you spew hateful nonsense. YouTube is an enigma. On that we can agree. What about those guys who were charged in San Francisco for tire tracks over the Rainbow Street thing? Well, good. Like, isn't that normal? You charge people when you catch them doing vandalism, if you can catch them. I don't personally like it because I don't personally think that vandalism should necessarily be a crime. But that's a discussion for another time, right? Under our current laws, it is a crime. And under our current system, I think it kind of makes sense why. So, like, where's the breach of societal trust there? How are we feeling about Trump? Horrible. I was told that he was going to be an anti-war candidate. And honestly, when I didn't vote for Kamala and didn't vote for him either last year, or the year before last, I remember sitting around thinking, you know, at the very least, I don't think Trump's going to get us any new wars. I knew Kamala was. Kamala was openly talking about it. Trump was actually on the campaign trail saying he was going to be an anti-war candidate. Here we are embroiled in another forever war in the Middle East that Iran promises will go on for as long as they can possibly make it go on. If you're wondering, I'm a local community organizer from my state. I just came off a long emergency phone bank and like to be a part of a stream to wind down. Also, if you are anti-LGBTQIA, look inward. Oh, 100%, Hufflepuff. I 100% agree with that. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I'm a, openly queer trans woman. I hope it's obvious where I stand on the whole queer rights issue. Should be, anyway. I'm not Blair White, I'll tell you that much. Our food in the U.S. is poisoned. Our food in the U.S. is not poisoned, but food in the United States is overprocessed to a degree that does make it less healthy than other countries' food on average. Homophobes are gay themselves, to be honest. In order to actually care enough to hate that somebody is fucking somebody else up the ass, you have to be personally involved on some level. You have to want to be the person getting fucked up the ass, or you have to be the person wanting to do the fucking, and you're just mad because you can't. Because normal straight dudes that just, aren't attracted to, other dudes, they don't spend all their time online obsessing about random trans people and random queer people and gayness. It's such a fucking faggoty thing to do, to sit around talking about nothing but gay shit all day long. I have a pride flag behind me, and I don't talk about queer shit as much as you guys do. Bro, Lucas, stop spamming. I never said I don't support gay marriage. I think I did say that sentence, but I was, talking as, a character I was establishing in the narrative. I think you need to go back and rewatch the stream and familiarize yourself with the content. I didn't get to put my message, Sally, but same time, you live your life, no quarrels there, but I'm tired of government being paid off. I don't hate other Americans, I hate other countries and our politics. I do too. I do too. I don't want Israel having an outsized say over our defense spending, which they currently do. I don't like Israel having an outsized amount of control in our national government, which they 100% do. As near as I can tell, the entire United States federal government is owned and operated by Israel. As near as I can fucking tell. There's lots of things they could do to avoid that perception in my mind. But as of where I'm standing right now, we ought to be flying the fucking Israeli flag above the American one right now. Because that's the country we really fucking, that's the country our boys in fucking camouflage are dying for right now. I was about to say our boys in blue, so I had to make up a new phrase. But like, come on now. Oh, boo-hoo. Cry me a river about the J.K. Rowling shit. She didn't get canceled. She's a billionaire. She's the world's most wealthiest author in history. Literally, she is the richest author that has ever lived. Probably ever will live. What are you? Do you like men or something? I'm bisexual, so I'm like all over the map when it comes to that. But I'm a trans woman, a creator here on YouTube that makes socio-political commentary on these live streams, and hopefully I'm going to be releasing some video essays soon. So stay tuned for that. All kinds of things are planned for this year. But your girl got to get the motivation to actually put the rubber to the road. I was looking for a better way to find it, so. Kurt Schilling was fired by, okay, so like literally you're just giving me things that make me happy. I don't know, like if the point here is like, oh, so the thing you described happening, which is people getting canceled for saying like really reprehensible things that were completely unjustified and totally hateful and back up like hateful, bigoted, violent agendas against marginalized people. Yeah, like I know that happened and I'm glad that it happened. I wish that our country would get back to that. I wish that we would get back into that cancel culture shit where we actually start calling people out for when they say stupid, unscientific shit. It's like COVID-19 happened and we all just decided to fucking let our crazy out and let everybody else's crazy go unchecked. The only time it happens is over the internet. The only time anybody's crazy ever gets checked is over the internet. I'm a fascist? Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, the difference is a fascist would have like sent government goons to lock up the people that you're mad about. And instead, what actually happened was that the culture was mad at them because Americans were formally like pretty united against bigotry and hatred. Now we're kind of like divided 50-50 in that respect, largely due to Republican propaganda and the Democrats being completely ineffective in resisting it. No, I don't have a cat. Not a women. I love it when the people that are trying to insult and degrade me can't even spell or use the correct grammar. It is such an easy dunk when the person I'm talking to is so obviously a moron that it comes right through in their spelling and punctuation. Quick reminder, make sure you guys hit that like button. It does help a ton. I appreciate it a ton. And consider sending a super chat if you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered. Do you like to be called pretty beautiful? I don't mind it. I certainly don't mind it. You're supposed to try and get people to see the light? I mean, to a certain extent, but like, when you know a motherfucker was raised in a country that pushes Christianity from every corner, from every podium, from every pedestal, like, what use is the evangelicism at that point? What use is it evangelizing to me, a person who has heard the word of Christ and has clearly turned away from the Bible for my own reasons, you know? I guess we're gonna have to do a slow mode, huh? We'll set that to 20 seconds. Wonder if I got any more regulars in the chat. We're scared of feeling HR was in every room. Maybe instead of being scared that HR is in every room, you should consider, like, not saying stupid, hateful, bigoted things. Literally nobody on the planet was ever canceled because they made some stupid little joke about fucking trans or gay people. It's because they said outright and verifiably bigoted things that push violent narratives about marginalized people. So, like, I don't have a problem with that. I think you should be pushed to the margins of society if you're pushing violent, hateful rhetoric. That's what culture should do to a person like that. The only reason why Nazi Germany was able to happen is because so many people listened to their fellow Germans saying crazy Nazi shit and were just like, huh, well, that's old Uncle Fester for you, I guess. That attitude kills civilizations. That attitude brings ruin to great countries. You must call out evil everywhere you see it. What's your opinion on segregation? A horrible system of oppression that sought to continue many of the socioeconomic realities of slavery. I'm glad it was abolished. Glad I was able to go to high school with black kids and Mexican kids. Glad I don't get to drink out of a special, well-maintained water fountain while my black neighbor has to drink out of a fucking shitty, colored people-only water fountain. Pretty glad about its end. As a Mississippian, I think my state has improved for it. From Mississippi, from a state that resisted segregation till the 70s, Mississippi has done nothing but improve in the intervening years. We went from being, and I'm not saying that there's some direct correlation, but just as an example of how you can hold on to segregation for so long and then change that policy and then prosper vastly in the aftermath. Here's just a few of the ways that Mississippi has improved from 100 years ago till now. 100 years ago, almost nobody in Mississippi had electricity. Some people in the big cities might have. Some people in the western Delta regions might have had electricity at that time, but it was very fucking rare. Now, every house in Mississippi pretty much has electricity, as far as I know. It's at least widely available, I can tell you that much. There's a single address in the state where you wouldn't be able to get an electric service of some kind. We went from being, obviously this is not in the last 100 years, but in the last 10 years. In the last 20 years, it's been both, but we were 50th in our schooling for the long time. There for a while, we were 51st, meaning we were worse than fucking Puerto Rico. But now, we're 35th, middle of the pack. And our literacy rate, which used to be some of the worst in the nation, is now number 4. Kids in Mississippi are more likely to be literate readers than kids from almost any other state in the union. There's only like 3 states that beat us out in terms of childhood literacy. Take that wig off? Not a wig. See? Not a wig. Oh my god. Being trans is in fact a choice just like everything else is. I know the human race would not cease to exist within a generation. Okay, so number 1, not everything in life is a choice. There's lots of things in life that are not choices. Human beings have limited will. We don't have free will, okay? So let's just put a pin in that and state that clearly for the record. Second, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, trans people are like 1% of the population. Accepting and allowing trans people to exist, at best, removes 1% of the gene pool. At best. And most scholars would argue that there's less than 1% of the general population that is trans. So, like, huh? Does that work on other people when you tell them that there's like a sniper glare? Like, I'm just curious. Does that like make some streamers like horribly terrified and make them quit the stream? Let them shoot. You're full of shit. Hopefully they're a better shot than Charlie Kirk's assassin was, so you get that really nice headshot. We are Charlie Kirk, so you're all dead? You're all gushing blood from your neck? Oh, it's an edgy joke. If you've been liking me, don't decide you fucking dislike me now because I made one edgy joke to people that are literally being as hateful as you'll find a motherfucker being. See, this is the crybaby thing. Conservatives love to dish it out, but they do not like to take it. Hallmark of the fascists, really. Natural doesn't mean equals higher population. Yeah, no. It's a rare thing, but that doesn't mean it's unnatural. Albinos are perfectly natural. They're just rare. Trans people are a lot like albinos in that respect. Although there are, black and brown trans people, and by definition, I mean, like, albinism comes with certain phenotypes. Bro really chose the max difficulty. My life has actually been easier since coming out as trans in a number of key ways. It's been harder in some ways too, don't get me wrong. But I feel like in terms of like accepting myself in general, like love for life and enjoyment, I feel like, positive growth in that area. Albania? Yeah, dude, all albinos trace their lineage directly to Albania. Why do you think they're called albinos, dude? It's like a fucked up way of saying like Albanian. Duh. You idiot. You guys know I'm joking again, right? Can we talk about what's happening in Vermont today? Sure, I didn't see what's happening in Vermont, but if you want to catch me up on it. Another person with the sniper glare thing? Bro. I'm not 12. Man, motherfuckers really must just be used to interacting with like outright crackheads on vertical lives. Because only an outright crackhead, like an outright tweaker, would read a comment like that and actually get worried. Let me see here. Let me looking. Ask Riley. Riley, where are you? Riley, tell me about what happened in Vermont. Let me see here. I'm looking at your channel activity. So big ice clash with public in Vermont. Videos are hard to watch. Now that the Trump administration controls all the major media, they aren't reporting on the ice/public clashes happening in cities like Burlington. Holy shit. Oh my god, that is crazy. I did not know about that. Yeah, there has been kind of a notable media blackout when it comes to ICE-related coverage over the last month, and I think that that's been purposeful. I think that that's like entirely the point. It's I looked into this the other day. It's called flooding the zone. It's man, this motherfucker just wants my attention so desperately. I'm not gonna give it to them. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so there's been like a notable media blackout, but I also think that it's like I looked into this phrase that someone told me about in chat the other day, flooding the zone. And what it basically means is that there are ways to make sure that people aren't paying attention to what you really want them to, or to what they should really be paying attention to, or to make sure that there is so much going on that people can't effectively focus their energy in any one place, and therefore they can't be effective on any one front. And that is exactly what's happening right now, in addition to a media blackout outside of independent media when it comes to ICE operations, which have not stopped. The Department of Homeland Security may be shut down right now, but ICE itself is not. Customs and Border Patrol are not. So there's like a double whammy effect happening here in the coverage of ICE related events and ICE function. And I wouldn't be surprised to see these public clashes starting to happen more often. I mean, it is a really good, I'll tell you what, not to look at it like a capitalist, but it is a really good opportunity for independent journalists to get in there and get big. Get in there, get the stories that Americans need to be paying attention to, get the documentary footage and coverage that'll be needed to prosecute people in the aftermath. Abolish ICE. If your party won't do that, don't vote for them. Yep, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Abolish ICE has to be one of the main campaign promises of whatever the next Democrat is. Or I'll make another prediction. If the Democrats don't allow an actual progressive to get the nomination in 2028 that runs on things like universal health care and abolishing ICE, they will be subsumed into the Republicans by 2032. And there will be a new, like, it might be the Party for Socialism and Labor, might be a Workers' Party, might be an American Labor Party. I don't know what it'll be, but there will be some new leftist party in America that pops up to replace the giant fucking block of people that have been left behind by the slow march of the Democrats towards the right. For legal reasons, I didn't see that super chat, Basil. Thanks for the $2. You goon to me? Join the club. You and 800 other motherfuckers, I'm sure. Oh my god, this one's juicy. You're yourself because you condone political violence. I do? How so? I do? I condone political violence? That one's juicy. I do. Do I? How so? Abolishing ICE would cause violence? ICE right now is responsible for more violence than fucking immigrants are. What are you talking about? Yeah, the New York Times is not a leftist fucking rag. It is literally a moderate centrist rag that runs cover for Israel every chance it gets and that does effectively nothing but concrete and solidify the status quo. I think it may have contributed to the Smiling Friends creators ending the show. They want out before they have Big Brother over their boss's shoulders. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there really is. Like, there's a change coming to America unless progressives and independents and shit like that rally around something better. Because right now, the trend in America is sending us towards authoritarianism. It's not just the trend. Like, I feel like I'm committing the same sin that so many leftist creators have been for so long, and I've been talking shit on them for doing it, but here I am about to fucking do the same thing. Let's just call it what it is. We live in a currently authoritarian regime. Shit's been getting authoritarian in America for about 20 years now, through Democrats and Republicans. And America has a choice to make right now and in the next 4 years. Do we want a democracy that works? Or do we want a fascist country where there's only one lifestyle that's allowed, and that's strict Christian conservatism? And if you're a woman, you got to have long fucking dyed blonde hair, and you got to have the Mar-a-Lago face. And if you're a man, then you got to have a big old beard and wear a fucking Trump hat, or you're just not a human being. Have a fucking genuine choice to make in our politics over the course of the next 2 years. And for the record, I'm not one of these people that was like, and even to this day, I don't think like Trump is the fucking epicenter of all evil. I think that Trump is one fucking step in a long ladder of oppression that has been getting erected over the course of the last 100 years, really. Possibly longer. I mean, depends on how long you want to fucking trace it back. But this current trend of oppression, he's just the craziest and latest motherfucker in a long chain of stupid, crazy motherfuckers that have been willing to sell our freedom up the river for people like Israel and the billionaire class. But you can get rid of Trump and the fucking disease will remain if we don't address the core problem, which is capital. The endless, unfettered accumulation of capital. The administration literally has a goal of an America with a population of 100 million. They want to suppress 2/3 of Americans. Yeah, literally. Literally. That's not even a joke. That they are angling towards societal death because they want America to fail. Ultimately, long term, I don't think the billionaire class wants America around because America, in theory, represents this hope for democracy, this hope for collective rule, this hope for a people's government that it actually is responsible to the vote and responsive, I should say, to the vote. But they don't want that. They don't want a place that fosters the feeling within people, I have a right to fucking speak up and say what I think. And I have a right to vote for what I believe in. They don't want a country like that. They certainly don't want one as big as America, which is why they've been globalizing the economy. That's why they've been building bunkers in New Zealand. They're actively trying to destroy America. And it's like fucking hilarious when you think about the rhetoric that they spend towards the left. If you listen to any right-wing commentator, they'll tell you that the left is the ones trying to destroy America when they're the ones literally trying to bring about the rapture by creating Greater Israel and having fucking bunkers in New Zealand as a backup plan if that doesn't work out because they're all secretly atheists. They just don't want to admit it. Oppressive nightmare people, ghouls in human form, rule over us. And for a long time, we've just been kind of letting them do so with more or less an iron fist. And I'm just wondering, like, are we ever to get sick of that? Are we ever to decide our lives are worth just as much as some motherfucker that was born into immense wealth? I don't care if you're a conservative. I think your life is worth just as much as mine. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I think your life is worth just as much as mine. But the billionaire class doesn't think my life is worth as much as theirs. And as long as that oppressive class system is allowed to exist, we will never rid ourselves of the problem that everyone identifies with Trump, but that is ultimately a problem not of Trump, but of capital. He's merely its latest and craziest representative. You can also be president one day as well. It doesn't matter what family you're born into. Get out and make something with your life. I like to think I am currently trying to make something with my life. But leaving that aside, in the last 100 years, every single one of our presidents have been born into wealth. Every single one. Without exception. People are like, oh, what about Jimmy Carter? He was a farmer. Yeah, do you know how much fucking money farmers make? Like big ag, mass agriculture farmers. Rich guy. Born into generational wealth. Just like Ronald Reagan, just like Bill Clinton, just like George H.W. Bush, just like George W. Bush after him, just like Barack Obama, just like fucking Joe Robinette Biden, just like Donald J. Trump. Every single one of them born into wealth. Richard Nixon, born into wealth. JFK, born into wealth. Eisenhower, middle class, but what we'd call pretty fucking wealthy now, compared to the lack of a fucking middle class these days. I don't care how many times you spam, why do I got a pentagram? I ain't never going to answer it with a satisfactory fucking answer until you learn how to ask the question like a human being. You are not the main character of the stream. I have not read your chats on purpose because I'm not interested in derailing my conversation for a useless fucking talk about the symbology on my wall. And if you continue to spam, you'll just be banned every fucking time. Christ. Okay, fine. I'll explain it, okay? I have it back there to scare off small-minded people who are terrified of symbols they don't understand. There you go. I keep pentagrams around me because they're a good way of terrifying small-minded people that have a problem with symbols. Like, if you think the devil can live inside a symbol, you're probably going to stay the fuck away from me if I wear a pentagram around my neck, or if I've got one in my background, or something else like that. And I'm fine with that, frankly. Not everyone is like that, though. There are people who legitimately believe that that is a satanic symbol, and that I have, like, a satanic vibe, but that are still Christians and hang out with me because they actually live up to the word of Christ. Christ did not spend his time around virtuous, godly people. Christ spent his time around fucking tax cheats, tax collectors, fucking and pimps, fucking unemployed people, the dregs of society. And his mission was to be a role model to those people, to show them a better way, to encourage them to be better, to live by a better set of virtues, to forgive them as they stumble. Is this all you talk about? You're probably unemployed? Well, it's been about an hour and I made $34 so far being unemployed, so good grift, I guess. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Oh, fuck. God damn it. My thing fell down. Ugh. Ow. Fuck. Hair's stuck. Damn it. Oh, shit. Oh my god. I hate it when I do some clumsy ass shit like that. I'm an idiot. Fuck. I can't even see back there. Oh. Well, I guess I'll grab the broom. If it's back there, it's gotta be fucking back there somewhere. Well, that's not gonna fucking work. That might work. No. Well. No! God damn it. Nothing is going my way tonight. Fuck. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. Now I know. Set this up. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. This thing's falling fucking apart. Okay. Yeah, I'm cold as a fucking motherfucker. I'm as cold as ice. Oh my goodness. We're back. Good night, Basil. Simply the vest. It's too cold to have the vest on tonight. Better than all the vests? I don't know about that. Was that your workout for the month? No. Not even out of breath. But go join a political action group around you. Get to know your neighbors. Rice and beans if you can. Yeah. For sure. I don't remember where we were or what we were talking about, so you guys are going to have to, like, catch me up. No, I guess I never saw that commercial, no. Yeah, see, but tainted nougat, that's like, that's a valid reason to be panting and out of breath, for sure. You're out of breath and burping? Well, I'm, like, flatly and obviously not out of breath, and I've had indigestion all stream, so. I was trying to start the revolution of the proletariat in your chat. Well, I've been trying to start the revolution of the proletariat from my live stream for the last 2 years, and I don't know how well it's working. So our efforts may be in vain, friend, but valiant as they may be. Talking about how you are a spoiled white Western brat who's never known true oppression? Oh, okay. Yeah. Edgy. You is white and live in America, so can't have good take. Good argument. I need to quit putting my lighters in unconventional places. Which proletariat? What do you mean, which proletariat? There's one. It's a class distinction. You know, the Tetris theme lives rent-free in my head. You bitch and moan, but have never experienced true oppression from your government? How the fuck would you know what I've been through? Like, how do you know just by looking at me and, like, the brief conversation that we've had that there's no way I've ever experienced any oppression from the U.S. government? Like, I don't know. It just seems like a bold statement, number one. Number two, there are lots of forms of oppression that aren't like the boot of a soldier stepping on your neck and crushing the life out of you. You realize that, right? Come on, don't be a dummy. You know that. Bro, it's called weed. I don't know about you, but I have a tray and I use little cards to get things in nice little manageable piles. I don't know, like, what's the point of having a tray if you're not going to, like, put things in nice little manageable piles before you load them into the bowl or the blunt wrap or whatever? Don't worry, fam. Trans is going to get the boot soon anyway. I don't know about that. I do worry that it's going to get to that point. Certainly there's the opportunity for it to get to that point. I think a lot of people want it to get to that point, but I don't know. I just don't know. But you know what? I feel like if you'd asked me what was the Trump? What was the second Trump admin going to be like? If you'd asked me that back in like November of 2024 after the election, I would have been like, more of the fucking same. Like every fucking Republican president since I was born says they're gonna fucking destroy the U.S. government and replace it with God King Bush or whatever. Like it's just I literally would have downplayed it so hard, and I did on live streams just like this one. And I would have been, look how wrong I would have been. How many U.S. citizens now? Like 3 or 4 different U.S. citizens have been just flatly murdered by ICE for no discernible reason. Thousands of immigrants just kidnapped off the streets, kidnapped out of their houses for no reason other than meeting some absurdly high immigration quota. Literally changing people's legal status to make more illegals out of already documented people. I didn't see any of that coming. I thought it was going to be more of the fucking same. And look how wrong I would have been, you know? All right, I will be right back again. Well, I'm not going to stay out much longer. I feel like I can see the fate of the stream already. Basically. So I'm only going to join you guys for the last couple of minutes, basically. YouTube mirrors this camera for some reason. Merrick the Drifter. Nice. I haven't seen you in here in a while. I ate too much today. ChatGPT says I'll be fish if I lose 20 pounds. You'll be fish? The fuck does that mean? I'm saying, Merrick, it has been a minute. Nice pipe. Said all mine are currently needing to be repaired. That one's on the narrow edge of it. But yeah, I'm going to be heading off here in just a minute. It's slang for attractive woman. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Did not know. Well, I will say, today's been okay in the donations department, so I appreciate you guys being so generous. I appreciate that a ton. I'll do one last plug, I guess. Make sure you've hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Please do that for me. That helps a lot. If you've got some money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to support a small-time trans creator on YouTube, feel free to Cash App or Super Chat. Description or the Super Chat box, either way. And, if you like my content, consider recommending it to some friends. Hey, yeah, no problem. Hey, look at that. Tainted nougat with $1. Sometimes $1 is all you can spare, and I appreciate every single buck I get. Before you go, any quick thoughts on Trump endorsing Jake Paul for a position in politics? Predictable. Well, I mean, I'm surprised that hadn't happened already. There were people making jokes about Jake Paul being in Trump's cabinet. So I'm honestly shocked that he's only just now getting I guess he had to prove his loyalty to the MAGA movement before Trump would grace him with the golden finger. But yeah, I mean, it's predictable. Trump likes loyalists, and he likes people he perceives as winners, or that he thinks the culture perceives as winners. It's more of a gesture than a real dono. I need to buy onions this week. Hey, that's fine. I appreciate it nonetheless. I gotta go. I just learned that there's hot single MILFs in my area that want to fuck me right now. She's only 5 minutes away. Well, you better get after it, Riley. That milfy poontang can get away quick. I hope you enjoyed my presence this stream. I did. Just when you think the bar couldn't get any lower. Oh, the bar will be a fucking tavern in hell before they're done. And you think the bar is sunk this low because it's Jake Paul? Just wait till it's some other dumb fuck. I'm telling you, Merrick, I'll tell you this right now. There will be stupid people in positions of power for the rest of our lives in this country and a lot of other countries unless we act on it now. Unless we act on it soon. And figure out some kind of fucking way forward. It's going to get bad. I mean, we already had Megyn Kelly call 14-year-olds barely legal types. I know. Shit's getting genuinely, unironically, hog wild crazy. And I don't think a lot of people are prepared for it. But if you don't like that trend, join a mutual aid org. Get involved in a political action not political action committee, like a political organizing thing. Do you like indivisible fuck? What are some of the big ones? Oh man, all the fucking big ones are slipping me right now, but there's a bunch of different organizations that have local chapters. Some of them work with like the Democratic Socialists of America. They love to do politically effective organizing all across this country, mutual aid work and that kind of thing. The industrial workers of the world is something worth looking into if you're willing to deal with the bureaucracy of it and you've got a workplace you'd be interested in organizing. Or even if you just want to help out the movement with a fucking $12 a month donation for your red card. Paul's people are really smart with how they market his fights and who they choose. Yeah, well, that's exactly the thing. That's why Trump perceives him as such a winner. That's why he's looked at as such like a famous person in the fucking media. His entire career has been structed. His entire fucking career has been constructed specifically for the purpose he's about to be serving over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. However long he lasts. Schumer will 100% come out if we win the midterms and talk about how it's time to unify the two parties and work together and be bipartisan and become MAGA light. Schumer will 100% come out if we win the midterms. And oh, now I get what you're saying. Yeah. Well, no, I 100% agree. Yeah, I mean, Schumer's a fucking bought and paid for zombie corpse that shouldn't be leading the Democratic Party, who only is by fucking accident of fucking circumstance in my mind. Yeah, he's definitely MAGA-lite. Can I plug my political action work? Yes, please do. Please plug your yeah, that thing. And I'm about to have to get out of here again, I could tell. But yeah, we gotta vote out. If you like, dude, I'm saying this is the last cycle that I think it will be effective or worthwhile. And perhaps even possible to engage in the DNC's fucking internal politics. So engage to the best of your ability this midterm season. Engage to the best of your ability this upcoming, 2028 election season, and try your best to orient the people that are in the DNC that are in your area or whatever. Try your best to fucking get like the DNC to change to the left, but like also be prepared to be ready to just focus heavily on direct action and community organizing and possibly some kind of third party that will replace the Democrats, because I don't really think they're going to, I don't think they've learned their lesson. I think they're going to make many of the same mistakes again. And we need to be ready when the time comes to jump ship and find something else. So with all that being said, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for the donations. Thank you guys for, oh, look at that, another donation just before I was about to go. To Revolution and Beyond. Thank you, Toys Noise, for the $2. I appreciate that. Well, it's about my bedtime. Good night, Phoebe. Good night, all. Yeah, Margo, you've got the right idea. We need to get people who will fight this AI survival shit, digital ID, and break up these tech monopolies 100%. 100%. There are a number of things, like literally, the American left right now is giving the Democrats a blueprint on how to win. They are the American left has a vision for how to improve America. I think we are starting to coalesce around that and have been for a while. I think we can crystallize that vision and make it widespread. But that's the kind of I feel like we are laying out a blueprint for them to win elections and to have effective policies that improve the world. Will they follow it? Probably not. But until tomorrow, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as always. Thank you guys for donating. Thank you guys for your time and everything else, I appreciate it a ton. Y'all stay up. Okay, hold on. We got one more donation before I go. $10 from the humble Hufflepuff 440 for thank you so much. I'm with Progressive Victory. Progressive Victory. That was the other one I was trying to think of. That was Progressive Victory. That's I've heard Vosh shout them out a bunch. They seem like a legit org. Yeah, go fucking look up your local Progressive Victory chapter. Help them out. Let's fucking let's get a fresh crop of people in there. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, though. Humble Hufflepuff and everybody else. I appreciate you guys a ton. Big shout out to Progressive Victory and everybody else fighting to rid America, at least, of Trumpist fascist nonsense. So, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for all the donations. Thank you guys for the time. Vosh is legit. Dark woke is real. Yeah, I mean, like, it kind of sucks that I was like doing dark woke along with Paul Zigo and TJ Kirk and everybody else on the like. There's a cadre of the left that was always dark woke, and I feel like kind of spurned because I was part of that, and now Vosh is like, but I guess he kind of always was too. It's just like now there's like a label for it and there's like a sort of public acceptance of it. And I think it's largely because people with an edgier attitude with genuinely progressive values just kept being loud about it and insistent. And now people kind of look at that as part of the progressive messaging that works. So good for us, I guess. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for donating. As always, yeah, be politically active. Be active in general. It's good for you. I've been losing weight. You could too. No, I'm just kidding. Don't worry about that shit. You are fine at whatever fucking weight you're at. Unless you're like 600 pounds, in which case you should probably lose weight. That's not very good. That's pretty unhealthy. That's actually pretty bad. But if short of that, no, I don't know. I'm just running out of things to say, but I feel like I need to banter more just in case one more super chat comes in. I don't know. Chicken in the corn, and the corn don't grow. I don't know. Bye.